A cloudy and mild start to the day, turning wet across the north, and it's the wet and windy that wins out as we head towards the end of the week. All the details of that and more live from HMS Belfast. They undergone a huge restoration project as well. We'll be hopefully looking at that a little bit later on this morning. But before I get back down to earth, I just want to talk about William Shatner and how incredible it was with his space flight yesterday, in case you beautiful colour, and how fragile the earth is and how tiny the layer of atmosphere where all of our weather happens. So hopefully that'll inspire the next generation of young people to want to be scientists and learn more, and also understand why it's so important to protect the planet that we live on. And now weather-wise, the weather that we are experiencing down here on earth is fairly cloudy. In fact, we have a warning for fog through southwestern areas first thing this morning. Slow going on the roads, poor visibility, so take care and check before you travel. But England and Wales, it is cloudy, mild, largely dry, cloud thick enough to give the odd spot of rain in the air. Scotland and Northern Ireland, cloudy and wet. And it's those grey conditions that really dominate for the next few days. Limited amounts of brightness as we head through the day, white skies rather than sunny spells. Temperatures with some sunshine could get up to 17 or 18 degrees, but the outlook as we head towards the end of the week, catering into the weekend, is looking wet and windy.
Laura, thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
A very good morning to you. I am on HMS Belfast, and 50 years ago today it arrived here on the banks of the River Thames, tourist attraction that has had millions of people come and view it, and it's recently undergone a restoration. We'll be exploring that later on as we head through the morning. But weather-wise here, it is misty, murky and foggy actually first thing, but the outlook is for it to turn wet and windy as we head towards the end of the week and on into the weekend. But first thing this morning, it's cloud that greets us like it did yesterday, and actually we have a warning from the Met Office for fog through southwestern areas, so slow going on the roads here, and it'll take a while to clear. England and Wales largely dry today. From the north, though, it starts to cloud over, and then outbreaks of rain arrive. So Scotland and Northern Ireland turning wetter and windier by this afternoon. And temperature-wise, we're looking at around about 14, 15 degrees in the north, maybe 16 or 17 degrees in the south. But let's take a look at our 7-day outlook, how things are shaping up as we head through the next 7 days. And this is the trend. This is what we're most likely to see through the next 7 days. Scotland, Northern Ireland and for northern areas of England, temperature-wise, we sit around about where we should be for the time of year. But it tails off, it turns a lot cooler as we head towards the end of the working week, before sort of moderating a little as we head into next week. But looking at our percentage chance of rain and looking at those weather symbols, we can see across the north there is a lot of wet weather in the forecast as we head through the next few days. So we have a high chance of seeing the rain today. That continues as we head towards the end of the week and weekend. We'd like to see warnings being issued for this, for either the strength of the rain, how heavy the rain is, or the strength of the winds, before it turns just a little bit drier as we head into next week. Fortunes further south for England and Wales for the next 7 days. Well, again, temperature-wise, they're pretty much where they should be for the time of year. With some sunshine, it will be a little bit warmer, but it slowly turns cooler, and temperatures drop off as we head towards the end of the week. And then we see the increased chance of rainfall. So percentage chance of rainfall is low for the next few days. Cloudy skies, perhaps a little bit drizzly at times, but it does turn wetter and often windier as we head towards the end of the week and into the next week as well.
So where are you in this argument?
I know, it's a real position, isn't it, between a rock and a hard place. And I saw a lot of people when I was tweeting about William Shatner and his emotion and talking about the jeopardy of Earth and how amazing it is, and him being up there and looking down and realising how profound it was and how it completely, at the age of 90, has changed his outlook on life. But at the same time, the emissions that are involved with getting us, and so much of the science and technology that's used in space helps us back down on Earth.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. Look at the sky.
Yes. It's absolutely beautiful, and actually it was 50 years ago today that it arrived here on the banks of the River Thames, and since then has been a beautiful tourist attraction. It was involved in D-Day. It was all from central London all the way out to the M25. So I see how I've got my sights set on, but at the moment it is cloudy and mild. Here's the outlook where you are. Well, the weather recently has been dominated by pretty cloudy conditions, a lot of dry weather around as well, and it's high pressure that's dominated, keeping weather fronts at bay, keeping us largely dry. But there are big changes to come as we head through the next few days. The high pressure that's been dominating will relinquish its grip, slowly drift its way southwards, and low pressure moves in. And at this time of year, that brings wet and windy, particularly towards the end of the week and on into the weekend. But for today, it is a tale of two halves. There's cloudy skies for many of us, but also outbreaks of rain further north. So first thing this morning, it's also worth me pointing out, it's so cloudy and misty and murky in the southwest. A warning from the Met Office for fog. Very dense, slow going on the roads, so just allow extra time and distance and check before you travel. But as we head through the day, it's England and Wales that basically is a repeat of where we were yesterday. It is cloudy, it is mild to start the day, limited amounts of brightness. Scotland and Northern Ireland, though, weather fronts made progress, and here this brings a wet day and turning increasingly windy as well. Temperature-wise, we sit around about where we should be for the time of year, 14 to around about 17 degrees, but with some sunny spells breaking through, we could get to maybe 18 degrees in the south. Now, as we head through this evening and overnight tonight, we stick with these cloudy grey skies, slowly lowering across the hills again, but the weather front in the north will move its way southwards. And as we head through to tomorrow, that means we see cloudier skies moving their way southwards, but tomorrow morning, a transition to something colder. So Scotland and Northern Ireland for Friday, that bit drier and brighter. England and Wales, cloudy with patchy rain that slowly clears away as we head through the day. So a brightening process, but it's as we head into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, low pressure brings wet and windy conditions, and that lasts for many of us into next week, turning cooler too. Inside, there are 4 turrets, and I am in a turret where there would be 3 guns inside here, and this shell here would have been loaded, and this weighs 51 kilos, which is just a little bit lighter than I am. 27 men in total would have been firing all of these at their peak. There would have been 8 rounds a minute firing from these. It's open obviously at the moment. There's had a huge restoration project, but at the moment it's misty and murky outside. Here's the details. Well, it's high pressure that means it's misty and murky, light winds around, and that means that temperatures have fallen for some, misty, murky, foggy conditions in the southwest, but what winds out through the next few days will be wetter and windier conditions that move on into the weekend. For today, though, it's pretty much a tale of 2 halves, because England and Wales start off cloudy and dry. Scotland and Northern Ireland are set to turn increasingly wet and windy. But with the cloudy skies comes a mild start for many, but where the clouds have broken, it's turned fairly chilly. As we head through the day, England and Wales will turn a little bit brighter, some sunny spells and top temperatures of 17 or 18 degrees. Scotland and Northern Ireland, though, cloudier and wetter, a little bit cooler here, top temperatures of 14 or 15 degrees by this afternoon. Good morning to you. I am on board HMS Belfast. It was 50 years ago today. It arrived on the banks of the River Thames, became a tourist attraction, and I am in the Captain's Bridge, where the captain would have commanded the ship. A perfect place to be this morning. The view outside is actually brightening up. It was cloudy, misty and murky this morning, but the story is of more sunshine as we head through the day. But today is one of a tale of 2 halves. Wet weather in the north, dry weather further south, and actually for the far southwest, fog around that will slowly clear through the morning. So for England and Wales today, much like yesterday, cloudy, mild start. As we head through the day, the cloud lifts and breaks, revealing sunny skies, and temperatures respond accordingly, 17 or 18 degrees. Scotland and Northern Ireland turn cloudier, wetter and windier from the north, and this whole band of rain slips southwards tonight into tomorrow. For many of us, tomorrow starts cloudy, brightening up, but turning colder.